But actually, if you don't review and you don't come back to it and check in, what's the point of setting the goal? I think this is a struggle with many people when they have New Year resolution, New Year, new me. Happy New Year, everyone. It's such an amazing time of the year. 2023 is that year where we smash it, we thrive, and we grow. And today, I just want us to look into how to set New Year resolutions and the ones that we can thrive and still continue to thrive even midway through the year up till the end of the year. My name is Carina, darling. As you know, I am a wellness blogger and coach. I like to talk about everything wellness, and this 2023 we're going to explore different aspects of our life and ensuring that we live a more holistic life. As you know, my passion is to work with those millennials who work in capital cities across the world and also have side hustles. Today, I'm here to share with you how to thrive in the goals that you set in 2023. I'm going to share 5 key things that we need to look into. So are you ready? Get your pen and paper, because this is that one video that I want us to write things down. Actually, no, all our videos this year are going to be written down, they are going to be journaled, and they're going to be things that we go back to and ensure that we're thriving. So the very first point that we're going to explore today is to set goals. So it's not just setting goals though, as you know, but why are you setting your goals? Why? What is your why? And I think that's really important. And to be able to know your why, I'll be very honest with you, you will need to spend time with yourself to understand what that is. For me, at the beginning of this year, I looked at myself and I said, why do I want these goals to be set? Especially my financial goals. What is my intention? Why have I set them? And in my case, I said I want to be debt free by the end of this year, and I categorized the different debts that I have, and my intention is to really work through these debts and be able to at the end of the year look back and say, actually, I have met my goal. So yes, so setting your goals, what is your why? What is your reason for wanting to set that goal? For me, is that I want to have more disposable income to be able to use for other investment projects that I have. So being debt free from that particular area would really open up my finances for it to be used for other things. Another thing I would encourage you to do this year is to also look at your how. How am I going to achieve this? What is feasible? How can I ensure that this is implemented? And when you've done your why and your how, I would encourage you to have a theme for the year. I actually did this last year and it really grounded me. So every time through the year I look back, I always remembered my theme. And it was a challenge for me to remember that, oh, I made this decision and I need to stick to it. So this year, I'm actually doing that still. I'm ensuring that my theme this year for me is to be purposeful and to thrive. So my second point today is to change your vision and your identity. So what I mean by that is, do you want to be a rich person? See yourself as rich. And when I say that, I don't mean you going shopping, buying all the most expensive things, wearing your whole wealth on yourself. What I mean is an ideology of being rich. A person who is rich gives. Even when you don't have, if you don't categorize yourself as poor, you won't have a mindset of a poor person. And what I mean by that is you would love to help other people. You love to be there to support people. You are a giver. And that's the mentality of the rich. When you look at a lot of very wealthy people, they give a lot of their wealth. They give their time where they can afford to. So be someone that actually enjoys to give. Be someone who enjoys being generous. And giving doesn't necessarily only mean money. If you can, give money, but you can also give items that you have that you don't use. Identify people who are in need that you can support in your community. Just be generous. Welcome people to your place if it's safe to do so. And just have a mentality where you want to share. You want to be there for others. You want to support people. Having that vision in mind, you build the identity that you want to be. You become that person, and out of that riches and abundance, you will grow also in riches and abundance. The third point I want us to explore today is actually writing down our goals. It's so easy to forget our goals, especially when they're not written down. One thing I did with my family this year with my husband was that on the 2nd of January, we brought our laptops out and we just said to ourselves, what do we want to achieve by the end of the year? It took us maybe about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but as we went through everything detail by detail, we were able to identify the areas that we want to grow in, the areas that we want to do more in, the areas that we want to leave and stop doing. So we looked at our financial goals and we said, okay, this is the goals that we have for our finance. This is the goals that we have for family. We want to spend more time with our family. We want to invest in ourselves, personal development. What are the things we want to achieve in 5 years? And how can we start working towards that? And we set those goals and we were able to look at what we did well the year before. So it's important to write these goals down. Have a vision board. Create one with your family. Make it a fun thing that it doesn't feel boring and mundane. That is something that you enjoy. And in your goal, if you're somebody who enjoys to travel, make that also a part of what you want to do and ensure that you're doing that. Like for us in our family, we enjoy traveling. So we've said to ourselves, because of the plans we have financially this year, we may not be able to do a lot of long haul holidays, but what can we do to still ensure that we're still enjoying our life in this area? We're still able to travel, we're still able to learn about other people. And so we decided that we're going to do short haul trips. So we're going to either have a weekend away or a long weekend away within the continent where we live or not too far away from where we live. So that's something you could want to pick up on, and maybe you have the luxury of being able to do long haul trips and you can add that to your plan and just have that vision board with your family. And again, once you've done that, you can then itemize it and look at it as tasks that need to be achieved. Actually, there's a book now that I have seen which is a 12-week year, and it's basically the concept that you achieve all that you plan to achieve in a year within 12 weeks. Because if you set the plan and the way that you need to achieve them, all you're doing is filling up the gaps as you go along in the 12 months. So the fourth point I want to share with you today is to actually have reflection included in your goal setting. To some people, they don't want to hear about reflection because when you look back, you feel like I haven't achieved the goals that I set. Why should I be reflecting? It's just going to make me feel sad. Let me give you an example. For example, last year, some of you knew I was out of work for a significant period of time, about 8 months. And during that time, I was able to just dig deep, have me time, have to refill my emotional wellness basket that was almost empty, and my mental ability as well to just work on all these things that I wasn't able to do, or perhaps I did not give so much attention in the year before. But I'm sure whilst you look back as well, you will see areas that you actually thrived in. And for me, we were able to spend good quality time together. I was able to spend time with myself. I was able to stock up on my spiritual life. I was able to recharge. I was able to emotionally balance myself, mentally. I just felt more of a complete human being, although not financially where I would have loved to be, but actually on other aspects I gained. And that's life. And so when I look at 2022, I come in and I say to myself, the things I did in 2021 that worked in terms of having a more balanced life and ensuring that I enjoyed every aspect of my life, I would like to carry this on into 2023. So don't beat yourself up too much if you feel like you haven't really achieved the goals. But the most important thing is to reflect on them. What did you do right? What was outside your control? What could you have done better? Even the areas that were outside your control, could you have done something differently? These are all the questions I had to ask myself. The fifth point I would like to share with you today is actually to categorize your goals. I have touched them as we've been along this journey, but categorizing your goal is such a great thing to do. It actually helps you to look at the areas that you've grown, the areas that you need to do more. For example, you could have personal development as a category, financial wellness as a category, spending time in relationships, families as categories, quality time with your spouse, your husband, your partner, your children parent as a category, career development as categories, and what you intend to do in these areas. So look at your life and look at the areas that you want to grow, categorize them so that it will be easier for you to go back and see your progress and then start. And very lastly, my bonus point is to review and check in. It's pointless having these goals, setting them, knowing your why and your how, having your plan, putting it all together in writing, reflecting, ensuring that you are meeting all that you have set. But actually, if you don't review and you don't come back to it and check in, what's the point of setting the goal? I think this is a struggle with many people when they have New Year resolution, New Year, new me, but it's a practice and it's a lifestyle. And if you're not checking in, if you're not reviewing, if you're not coming back to see what you've done, where you are, where you're intending to go, then when you look back, it will be one of those other New Year resolutions where you say to yourself, oh, I haven't achieved this year's goal. So I really don't want that for you, my audience. I really don't want that to be in our community. I want us to thrive. I want us to succeed. I want us to look back at 2023 when we come to December and we look back and we say, actually, I reviewed all my goals. I ensured that they were actionable. I ensured I was able to achieve them. And I'm really happy with myself. And so to be able to review and check in, it's important for us to set smart goals. They have to be specific. They have to be measurable. They have to be achievable. They have to be realistic. They have to be time bound. So everyone, I really cheer you on this year. I am by you. I am with you. Leave me a comment if you need support, if you need an accountability partner, if you feel that there are areas where you're struggling, just let me know. I'm more than happy to support you. We'll be on this journey together. So in the meantime, have a lovely time and bye guys.